ஒரே ஒரு 5 லிட்டர் இதய மந்த்ரா கடல் எண்ணெய் பேக் ஒரு மாசம் முழுசுக்கும் அத்தனை சமையலும் முடிச்சு விடலாம். இதய மந்த்ரா.
மேடையில் வீற்றிருக்கும் மரியாதைக்குரிய ஜஸ்டிஸ் திரு வி. ராமசுப்ரமணியன் அவர்களே, மரியாதைக்குரிய பேராசிரியர் ஞானசம்பந்தம் அவர்களே, மரியாதைக்குரிய மார்பின் மைந்தன் திரு முத்தையா அவர்களே, மரியாதைக்குரிய டாக்டர் கே. பொன் சங்கர பாண்டியான் அவர்களே, மரியாதைக்குரிய திரு பி. பாலமுருகன் அவர்களே, மரியாதைக்குரிய திரு பட்டுக்கோட்டை திரு பிரபாகர் அவர்களே, இங்கே கூடியிருக்கும் பாரதம் மற்றும் வெளிநாட்டுகளில் இருந்து வந்த சிறந்த தமிழ் கவிஞர்களே, அறிஞர்களே, சகோதர சகோதரிகளே, அனைவருக்கும் எனது இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். Our MC Jayanti has given an impression that I am very fluent in Tamil. Maybe someday I will, but today I think, anyway, that day will come. I am very happy to welcome all the great scholars, patrons, those who have been serving the Tamil language, Tamil Thai, either through creation or through publication or through facilitation, providing platform by which the scholars, the researchers, they contribute to the enrichment of our most ancient and richest of all languages, which is our Tamil language. Friends, we know that Tamil is the oldest living language, and it is the richest in terms of literature. It has over 100 million speakers in Bharat and across the world. And it has all the reason to be the most proud and glorious language in the world. Bharat as a country, as a Rashtra, is proud of Tamil. You know, this ancient and rich language, it had suffered enormously during the British period. It was a deliberate attempt by the British to downgrade the mother tongues of this country, and they did so to the Tamil as well. They had destroyed our indigenous education system. They had destroyed our industry. They had devastated our agriculture. Agriculture they did by heavy taxation of the land, making it unaffordable for the farmers to do the cultivation. Industries they had closed by force, making it almost necessary for youth to seek employment either with the company or with the later British government. And to get employment in the company or with the British government, they had to have English education. And in the English education, the schools which they had set up as a part of the design, they did not encourage Tamil. It was a design on the part of the British to make their empire more enduring, to infuse a sense of inferiority among our people. And they chose education system. And through education, they started teaching what they wanted to teach us, what they wanted us to learn. And they taught us that everything about the British, about the European was the superior. And all that we had in our country, including our literature, was inferior. In fact, they used the word for our language, for Tamil, vernacular. We know vernacular, literally it means language of the slaves. It is not language, in fact, they call it dialect. It's a way of communication for the people who are not yet civilized. And through the generations, and I tell you, this is, if you go into the Chennai archives, you will find the evidence of it. When Thomas Munro was the governor, 1822, he had commissioned a study of the status of indigenous education. And he asked all the district collectors to do detailed survey of the native system of education. And the reports are very exhaustive, very detailed. These are available in our archives. 1822. And if you wish to be more precise, the letter that Munro had written to the governor was 22nd of June, 1822. And within a year, the whole survey was done. The report, if you see, then you see what was the status of education in Madras Presidency at that point of time. It has gone into detail. The subjects taught, schools as well as higher educational institutions. Subjects taught, students also, the community-wise students. And it is surprising, I really wonder, because the community students, they had put in 4 categories. While how many students for this community? And they had 4 communities: Brahman, Vaishya, Shudra, and Mohandans. These are the 4 categories in which every district report it has it, every school report it has it. And many of you might be surprised to hear. In fact, I was surprised when you find that in every school, the number of Shudra students was more than any other student, any other category. There were hostels, they were living together. There was no question of untouchability. People were living and sharing food. But they closed all these educational institutions systematically and introduced there. And they induced in us a sense of inferiority. So much so that in 100 years, they brought us to a status When about 1920, after the First World War, when the national freedom movement started getting traction, our leaders of all political parties, be it Congress, be it Justice, they were addressing the public gathering in English. That became, they had come to a stage where they thought that English was the only mark of your status, you being educated. And at the time, when the Swadeshi movement had begun, our Hausi had started, first with the commodities, with the product, that you boycott the British products, we have our own. Swadeshi moved to the language, that we must come to our language, Tamil language. In fact, a number of leaders, literary figures, a number of powerful writers and speakers, they came up. At the time, T.K. Chidambarnath Mudaliar, Rashikamani TKC as he is popularly called, he won a virulent campaign against this leader speaking in English, addressing the masses. And he used to crack jokes, mock at those leaders. He used to say, one anecdote he used to often narrate in his public speeches, that when the British came to India, they found banana fruit, but they didn't know how to eat banana. So when they got banana, they peeled it, they ate the peel and threw the pulp. And he said, these people, those who are speaking in English, to our people, these Tamil people, speaking to Tamil people in English, they are like that British, eating the pea and throwing the banana. He says, look, our mother tongue, our language, it originates in the heart. Why should it escape on the tongue? Why can't it come on the tongue as well? And in his speeches, he often used to draw upon Kamba Ramayana. He was a great authority. He used to say that Kamban knows the heartbeat of Tamil. Pick up his one verse, sing it repeatedly. These are his words. These are TKC's words. Sing it repeatedly, and you will feel the heartbeat of language, Tamil, and you will hear its rhythm into the throb of your pulse. This lives in our heart. Colloquial language, common folk language, language spoken by the people. There were others also who campaigned. It was the whole Tamil society was in fervent. Our U.V. Swaminath Iyer, whom we popularly call Tamil Tata, he had already discovered over so many precious ancient works, Silpadikaram, Manimekhalai, Purnanuru, Aknanuru, all this, and produced it. He had collected thousands and thousands of manuscripts, palm leaf manuscripts, cleaned and polished and presented it for the generations. We had Mahakavi Bharati. They were all champions of Tamil language. Kavi Arsu Kannadasan. So many of them. In fact, there's Kalaki Subramanian, I mean, our Kalki, Subramaniam, who is popularly, I first got to know about him when I heard and saw the film Ponniyin Selvan. But then when I read his biography by Sundas, such a great freedom fighter, and he did so much for Tamil language. Anand Vigatan, which he was editor of. That was, if you come to think of the period of 20s and 30s and 40s, it was a period of resurgence of Tamil, all around. We had Kiva Jagannathan, we have Vika, we have Kavimani Desika Vinayak Pillai, you have T.S. Rangarajan, who is popularly called Valli. All these people, so many of them, they came up in praise of Tamil revival to give the strength. After independence, it continued for some time. But then, somehow, I wish I am wrong, but I have a sense that that momentum which they had created, freedom from foreign language. Learning language is not bad, but getting overwhelmed by it, getting subordinated by it at the cost of our own mother tongue was not something desirable. You know, when the British were campaigning that English was the only medium capable of scientific expression, capable of science and technology, because they said that if this country has to have industrial revolution, it has to have English. If you have to study science and technology, you can only study in English. I read one letter to editor by Bharati, Mahakavi Bharati. It was in October 1918. When the British were campaigning, when the fire of Tamil was rising up, getting ignited more and more, British went overboard to persuade the people not to get swayed by this renaissance of Tamil. And in this campaign, J.C. Rollo, who was the principal of Pachayappa College, he was one of the chief campaigner. He had delivered a talk in Triplicane, a very long lecture that Tamil was not capable of science, expressing science and technology. To which Mahakavi Bharati had given a very strong rebuttal, saying that Tamil was far more capable than English for expressing science and technology. But almost 80 years down the line, when I look at him, I feel that we have not yet fulfilled what he had said at that point of time. Even today, why is it that a language which is so rich, which is so powerful, which is so ancient, still our students have to learn science and technology in English? Why? I think somewhere the vestige of colonialism, it is still there. I find it absurd when I find people comparing our ancient Tamil literature with some English writers. Somebody compares our great Thiruvalluvar with Shakespeare. And I really wonder. Friends, language is an expression of a civilization. Ours is thousands and thousands of years of old civilization. How ancient is the European civilization? This last 300-400 years. And we start comparing our people, our work, 2,000-year-old, more than 2,000 year old. With these English writers, is it somewhere that we are manifesting our intellectual or emotional inferiority? We still need a certificate that yes, it is the if so and so writer of ancient Tamil, we compare him. Now, do you compare sun with a lamp? You may compare lamp with a moon, say the lamp is as bright, but you don't compare moon or sun with a lamp. You don't compare Thiruvalluvar with Shakespeare, you don't compare all these great men. Somewhere this complex is still in our mind. This has to go. In fact, 2023, early 2023, because when I started exploring learning, and when I realized that still in our science and technology, our engineering, medicines, they are all taught in English. Then at the time I had commissioned several professors of our universities to first two things. One is translate a standard English text of engineering and medicine and physics, chemistry into Tamil. And second, some renowned professors asking them to write the books in Tamil according to the syllabus of our students, degree, post-graduation. And I can assure you, today there is no dearth of books. We have books in Tamil, in engineering, we have books in medicine, we have books in all the subjects of science. But somehow there is a reluctance on our part to adopt it. I think even after 100 years, we cannot let down Mahakavi Bharati when he challenged Rollo that Tamil is far more capable than English for science and technology. It's time that we must not wait anymore. Friends, this assembly, this gathering of scholars and patrons, essentially, first of all, it is a matter of privilege, a matter of pride for Rajavan, for us, to have you all. Because it's you, in the current age, you are carrying forward the legacies of ancient, old richness of our Tamil language, taking it to newer heights of glory, through your writings, through your oration. And it was a matter of privilege for me to felicitate some of you. I feel so happy and, in fact, honored. At the same time, it is also, it has been a question nagging in my mind for long, and I thought there should be an appropriate forum to vent it out. And it was this, that even after nearly 80 years, we are still not out of this mindset that yes, English is a superior language and the higher learning has to be in English. It must go. And each one of you, I would urge you, each one of you, because I know that you are all people, you have been contributing, you have dedicated your life for the enrichment of the language, instilling the pride, restoring the sense of self-respect and pride in our own language. We have unfinished task. I thought it an appropriate forum to vent out and say that we have an unfinished task. We have to take this to the next. And we have, as I said, knowing in language is nothing wrong. English is not a bad language. I am not against English. But learning a language at the cost of our own, moreover, mother tongue. We must all be proud of it. And this is the case. In fact, when Swadeshi movement was extended from goods to language. It took over all over the country. It took over in Bengal, it took over in Hindi speaking area, in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Telugu areas, Kannada area speaking, Malayalam, all these areas, people, writers have started coming up, taking pride, asserting the pride of their own mother tongue. And this is the beauty of Bharat, because we have so many mother tongues. And mother tongues which are so rich. And when we remember the Bharatis, Mahakavis, when he talks about the languages and Bharat Mata, Seppu Modi, Padanettu Diyad, Enil Chintanai Ondu. This is one. Each language, each Modi has to blossom, has to flourish. And oldest of all, the richest of all, Tamil has a special responsibility. It has to grow. It has to lead the way. In fact, we are making some small, modest effort. Prime Minister has been doing a lot, taking Tamil to international locations, whether it is a Thiruvarur Center in Singapore, whether a chair in Malaysian University or Boston University or whichever places. We are also trying, and within our own country, we have been trying to encourage people to learn, more and more people to learn Tamil. We have started in some institutions which are there, BHU, Banaras Hindu University has Tamil diploma course. Raj Bhavan has, for the last 3 years, we have been hosting all the students of Tamil diploma in BHU. They come for 3 weeks tour to Tamil Nadu because they must come listen to the people, because what they learn in a different ambience, they should learn here how native speakers they speak. The 3 weeks tour they have. We have taken Tamil to Northeast. In Guwahati University, we have started a course. And I find I'm quite happy about the enthusiasm of the Northeast young people, young boys and girls, because they come over here to Tamil Nadu. Many of them as students, some of them come and work. Elementary, practical Tamil. They should be able to speak some sentences, read Tamil. Recently, we have compiled an Tamil Assamese dictionary, which is going to be released shortly. We are taking it to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. That is why Prime Minister takes it to the UN, United Nations. Whenever he goes and addresses, at least he will have one Quran or something from here, which he will say. Even when Prime Minister speaks about democracy, and we say Bharat is the mother of democracy, what he quotes is the stone inscription at Uttarameru, which is almost about more than 1,000 years old. Our democracy, how we had in this land, how flourishing democracy we had. So the world need not tell us how to be democratic. We know it is in our blood. It is in our DNA. The glory of this language has to reach its optimum height, fullest height. Because we believe that and not only we believe, we have a firm resolve that today Bharat, which is awakened Bharat, is not Bharat which used to be a sleeping, dormant at the margin of the world affairs. Today Bharat is at the center of the world affairs. And this Bharat, when it is rising in every field, be in the field of economy, be in the field of national security, be in the field of knowledge. And knowledge includes science and technology as well. That is why in our national education policy, the whole thrust is on mother tongue. Education must be in the mother tongue. We must, one of the 5 resolves which the Prime Minister gave, one of the 5 resolves was to clean ourselves, to get rid of the last vestiges of colonialism. The last vestige of colonialism in our mind is superiority of English language. Learn English, but don't consider it as a superior. your mother tongue is definitely any discipline. And this we have to take it to every field. I know it will be done. It has to be done. There is no alternative. We have set a target, Bharat to be a fully developed by 2047. How can we be developed if we don't develop our own language, our own mother tongue? We know that scientifically it has been established that learning in any other language, it impairs the cognitive ability. It is always better and easier to learn in the mother tongue. And this learning goes on till the end. It is not only in the school or primary, even in the higher education. Look at the Japanese. They don't learn in English. They are the leading. Even China, now it is one of the leading in science and technology. They don't learn English. Russians, they have not bothered about English. German, they have not bothered about. All these countries, they have been flourishing in science and technology without English, in their own mother tongue. Why can't we, in our country, do it in our own language? And it is certainly an obligation on our part. And this obligation is to our mother tongue, our Tamil Thai, obligation also to the claim that Mahakavi Bharati made about 110 years ago. It is that we have to fulfill. I have no doubt we will all together achieve it. Friends, thank you very much. Meendum, Anaivarkum, Nandri.